Alright, this video we're going to discuss our approach at PurlerWrestling.com, and this is what we do with our wrestling academies, and we have locations all over Missouri and Illinois, but also our camps and just in general. And I give advice to coaches. You don't have to agree with me, but our approach is simply this. We take a technique approach, a technical approach to wrestling. I want my kids to be the most skilled wrestlers in the nation. And, that's where the confidence comes from. We talk a lot, we sometimes wonder why our kids aren't confident, and they're scared because they're lost in positions, If I'm not confident on the balance beam, I'm not going to be a good gymnast. If I'm not confident in a front headlock, or if my opponent has legs on me, I got to be confident there. So just getting a lot of drill time in wrestling is just about the feel. I feel okay when a guy, is wrestling from the outside. It doesn't bother me. I feel okay when someone's got a collar tie because I spend a lot of drill time, and that's where confidence comes from. But our approach basically is to be very, very, very technical. And number one. Number two, we preach tactical wrestling, not just wrestling hard and tough. We kind of just say, duh. Yes, I have to wrestle hard and tough. If you want a PhD, you have to study a whole lot. Duh. Let's not just regurgitate the common sense, the obvious, and all we talk about sometimes in wrestling is you got to be in shape and you got to be tough. Well, yeah, I know, and I got to exercise if I want to lose weight. Okay. Now teach me how to wrestle. I'm no good. I can't get off bottom. Okay? And I think this is the approach that sometimes is lacking. So I think the thing that helps our kids to be successful is that we do take a technical approach to wrestling. Not that being tough and mentally tough and in shape isn't important, because it is, but you're not going to make it through 1 week of practice unless you are. Let's be honest. And wrestling's not for everybody, and getting your PhD is not for everybody. My dad was an iron worker. Not everybody can do that. He was very successful. So, you have to work hard if you want to be in construction. It's just part of the deal, And if you work behind a desk and you answer the phone all day, you have to deal with a lot of those stressful situations. So, no matter what you're doing in life, there's a certain aspect of it that is going to be difficult. Well, in wrestling, getting tired and the emotional grind is part of the sport. So, we discuss that, and our kids know that that's part of the sport. The sport won't change for me. I have to change for the sport. When my attitude changed, my results changed. These things are common sense. Now, let's get back to how come kids win and how come they lose. They can't get off bottom. They get a wrist. They don't turn anybody. They get a single leg 4 times. No takedown. I got 3 front headlocks. No takedown. I got an underhook. I don't have a clue what to do from there. So I think if you shift your approach to say, let's focus on the technical side of wrestling and the tactical side. We teach that the way you wrestle should change according to the score, according to the clock. A football player isn't going to throw a 40-yard pass the last play of a game when they're winning by a point. If they're losing by a point, they might. I'm not going to force a shot if I'm in the last 20 seconds. But I will if I'm losing. But if I'm winning, I won't. So we give our kids permission to change the way they wrestle according to the score and the clock and how much time is on it. That's what we call tactical wrestling. There's reasons some guys win and some don't. It's not always just working hard. I learned something. Some guy said, is there anybody in America making 10 times the money you are? And they said, yeah. They go, how many hours you work? 50 a week. So can you work 500 hours a week? No, it's impossible. There's not 500 hours in a week. Okay, so working harder isn't going to help you now, is it? And the guy goes, no, you're right. So there's a reason people are having more success than you, and it's not always because you're not working hard enough or you need to work harder. It's like a default. We say, just work harder. Well, no. I need to work. Maybe I can work less harder if I actually spend time drilling in the common positions of wrestling and become very, very, very skilled through highly organized, well orchestrated wrestling practices at the hands of a coach or a trainer, and the facilitator of your success, the facilitator of the practice. So I think that's a good approach that a lot of us take, but probably a lot of us don't. So technical, tactical, teach them how to win matches, and also we focus a lot on positioning too. Our concept is this: if I get 15 takedowns in practice, and if I get 5, I would rather get 5 takedowns in practice and give up 0 than get 20 takedowns in practice and give up 15. If you can absorb that, your wrestling will change within 2 seconds. I would rather get 5 takedowns in practice and give up 0 than to get 20 takedowns in practice and give up 15. It's still a 5 takedown win, but one guy is on his way to possibly national titles and big time college wrestling, and another guy is just, they're still flopping around. They give points as easy as they get them. So teach your kids how to wrestle tactically and how to wrestle smart. Sometimes we're just doing it wrong. If I'm the state champion in track and I sprint the first lap in the mile, I'm not going to win. And people say, well, you lost the race. But yes, it wasn't a technique issue. I ran the race the wrong way. And that's what we have in wrestling. Sometimes kids are wrestling the wrong way and they wonder why they lose, And if a boxer or an MMA fighter, if they sprint out in the first 30 seconds and start kicking and throwing and swinging and trying to knock the guy out, they're not doing it right. They gotta fight smart but aggressive. We say wrestle very aggressive but from a defensive stance. That way I'm scoring, but you can never touch my legs. And that's what the MMA fighters do. Sometimes in wrestling we're like, it's more of a free-for-all. And we're focused so much on wrestling hard and tough that we, if you just slow down a little bit and hold position and take what your opponent gives you and manage your way through the match and become very good at winning matches and very skilled, and there's never a position you're lost from, your wrestling's going to jump. And now what happens when I can have a 2-point match with everybody in the state within a month of changing my tactics? Now I'm excited. I'm going to practice. I'm like, heck no, I'm going to work out. Your mom's like, whoa, what's wrong with him? He's getting motivated. Well, yeah, he finally has an opportunity to win. He's figuring it out. Sometimes kids get burned out because they're spinning their wheels and they're like, I'm done. Who can blame them? Let's get these kids winning and they're going to get excited. They'll be pulling you to practice, So become a technician, become a freak with your positioning, be the guy that no one can score on. Within reason, obviously, you're always going to get scored on some. But, I would rather win 1-0 than 12-11. I'm trying to get 20 takedowns in practice and give up 0. I'm trying to win 12-0, but that's going to be, 6 months from now, a year from now. I definitely need to progress and wrestle a high percentage style so that I can start feeling good about my opportunities to succeed on the wrestling mat. So teaching them tactical wrestling and, not to sprint the first lap, but to wrestle smart and controlled, 1 point at a time. Take what your opponent gives you. Don't be emotional. Be aggressive, yet be patient. It's going to be okay. Slow yourself down a little bit. Let's not get all hyped up with anxiety out there and wrestle wildly. Coaches and parents and mommies and daddies need to not freak out from the side of the stand screaming and yelling. Don't incite panic in this wrestler. Just watch the college coaches. They got it figured out. And, that's what they're trying to do too. So I think that's one of the main secrets to our kids' success. And maybe it can help some people out there watching this video. So hit subscribe on YouTube and share this if it's helpful and you appreciate us taking the time to put these out here. And I appreciate your interest, and good luck to the kids. Contact me if I can help in any way. PurlerWrestling.com.